Hello everyone, David here, and I had a couple people ask me about this water mill that I got at the train show back at the beginning of December, and so I'm going to do a video and explain this. First of all, this is a Faller 130-225, and much to my surprise, this thing actually works. So first thing in the side here is a water pump. I have to show you something here. Right on the top here it says 8 to 16 volts. And right after that is the little squiggly line there, which means that it's AC. So it's very important. So when you connect it to your power supply, I highlighted that so it's a little bit easier to see. You want to make sure you select the AC terminals and not the DC. So you need the AC on there. So let me plug this in, put this back together, and show you how this works. Okay, so I got this hooked up to the AC terminals on the power supply, and we'll get this thing to work. On the top here there's a hole, I guess an overflow thing, and normally that should work correctly as is, but it doesn't, and I'll explain that in a minute here. So for now, put this piece of tubing in that hole, so that the water level will go up higher before it goes into that hole. So we've got some water here. That should be enough, and we'll plug it in. Top there to get it going. There we go. Now, as you can see, I hope you can see that, we have some water flow, but nothing is happening here. Okay, that's kind of working. So we have two problems here with the way this was put together. It's not a design flaw, it's a build flaw. First of all, up on the top here, this water trough is up too high. So what we have is that reservoir, and then we have the water trough coming in kind of like this. So the water level will have to be up to here before it goes down there. In other words, if we were to cut that off so it was down lower, then the water level would have to only be like that. So you'd have to have a much lower water level and better flow. Now, the other problem that we have is where this water is coming out. It is way too far up there, and again, that's because of the way this is built. Now if I take a stick here, I kind of extend that water trough just a little bit, there we go, and you can see, because I have the water flowing further towards the outside of that wheel is now working just fine. So I have two things to do here. Once I get it started, it kind of works better. One thing is, first of all, I've got to trim this off here, and then I want to extend this. So the person that put this together, if they would have moved this whole water trough down just like a 1/4 inch or something, and had that flush right here, and then extended over there, this would work a whole lot easier. So what I need to do, I'll take my Dremel here with the little cutter on it and trim that out, and then I have a piece of plastic here that I made from the 3D printer to extend that a little bit. I think that's probably a little bit further than it needs to be, but we'll see how that works out. Okay, so I was going to do this here, but I'm going to take it out in the garage because I know I'm going to have plastic flying all over the place and make a mess. So I'll get back to you in just a minute. Okay, so I was able to trim this back here a little bit. It's still not down flat as low as it should be, but that's okay. I still get some good water flow. And over here I put this piece of plastic here that I made from the 3D printer, and now you see the water is hitting the wheel at the proper location and keeping that spinning. Now the fact that this has this little add-on here, maybe I'll paint it a different color, but in reality, with an old-fashioned watermill, it's quite possible that the end of it would break off or wear out, and they would just have to add on a piece. So actually that's not really out of context, so that's pretty cool. Now let me show you the irony of this. About 3 years ago, before I even started with the model railroading, I bought this at a flea market for like a quarter, just because I thought it looked cool, and I thought, well, if I ever get that model railroad project going, I'll do something with that. So I bought that, and then probably about a year and a half ago, I bought this little pump, this little water pump. I don't know, paid a couple dollars for it on the internet. So that was actually a thought or a dream that I had like a year ago or 2 years ago, and then I went to the train show and I found this, and I really can't believe it. Let me show you something here. If I stop this, okay, and then I plug it back in and start it. Okay, so nothing happens. So what you have to do here to get this thing started, you have to kind of prime it. So what we're going to do, put some water in the top, and that gets it going. Now when I start off, there we go. Fantastic. So you never know what you're going to find in a mystery box, and like I said, I couldn't believe that this actually had a water pump in it and it's actually supposed to function. So I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put it, but I promise you I'm going to find a place for it on my display up there. That is just too cool. So that is a Faller 130-225 made in Germany. Very cool. I always find something that I've never seen before. I love it. Thanks for watching.